Hi, welcome to Famous Academy. In this lesson, I'll be teaching about what happens to your cryptocurrency from the moment you hit the send button in your wallet on your mobile phone until it is received on the other end, how the blockchain network works, and what the role of each player in the Bitcoin ecosystem is. The process of sending Bitcoin has three parts: signing, broadcasting, and confirming. Let's start with the first part, signing. When I hit the send button in my wallet, what I am actually doing is telling my wallet, hey wallet, I want to send 1 Bitcoin to my friend Anna. Here's Anna's Bitcoin address. The wallet in response creates a transaction message containing information about me, the sender, Anna, the recipient, and the amount being sent. In this case, 1 Bitcoin. The wallet then produces a digital signature for this message using a mathematical formula that incorporates my private key. A private key is basically a long string of letters and numbers that acts as the password for the crypto in my wallet. Whoever knows my private key can have control of my cryptocurrency. The digital signature, on the other hand, is a way to prove I own the private key to my Bitcoins without exposing the private key. It uses a public key which I have no issue exposing. Also, digital signatures are different each time you sign a transaction. They are even more secure than a real signature since they are unique for each transaction. So if I send Anna 1 Bitcoin today and then another Bitcoin tomorrow, each of these transactions will have a different digital signature. After signing the transaction message, the wallet puts it along with the digital signature into a small file. And this concludes the first step of signing. Let's move on to the next step, broadcasting. In the broadcasting step, the wallet starts sending out the small file created during the signing step to many other computers on the blockchain network. These computers are also known as nodes. Each node that receives the file verifies that it is legit. They verify from the digital signature that I own the wallet I initiated the transaction with, and that I have the funds that I'm trying to spend. Much like a banker who checks your account balance before clearing your check. Once my file is verified, it is then passed down to other nodes of the network which repeat this process. When a node receives the file, it keeps it in a holding area on the blockchain called the memory pool, or mem-pool for short. This is a space dedicated for valid but still unconfirmed transactions. Once the transaction message finds its way to the mem-pool of the different online nodes on the network, we can say that the broadcasting step is complete. At this point, we can monitor the transaction with a block explorer, even though it hasn't yet been confirmed. A block explorer is a tool, usually in the form of a website, that allows you to search and navigate through the blockchain. Using a block explorer, you can check the balance of different addresses, track transactions, and get a wide variety of statistics about the network. So at this point, if we look at our transaction through the block explorer, we would see that it is unconfirmed, meaning that it has been verified and broadcast to the network, but it still isn't part of the blockchain. This transaction is sometimes referred to as a zero confirmation transaction. As it is unconfirmed, it can still get cancelled. As such, it's advised to never accept an unconfirmed transaction as proof of payment. Now let's move on to the final step, confirming our transaction. This is the role miners play. They confirm transaction in groups called blocks and make money in the process. There are many ways miners can confirm these transactions based on the blockchain network being used. The processes used in confirming transactions are called consensus mechanisms, and they differ mostly based on how the miners are chosen and how the miners are rewarded. The miners take those files in the mempool and group them together to create a block of transactions. There is a limit to how many transactions can be placed into each block. So miners will usually pick the transaction that has the highest mining fee attached to them first. This mining fee is called the block reward. Miners will then compete with each other in order to get the block into the blockchain. In a proof-of-work consensus mechanism, miners compete by using an enormous amount of computing power to generate a 64-digit hexadecimal number called a hash, which determines who gets to add the next block to the blockchain. The miner with the most computing power has the best chance of generating the hash before others and winning the chance to add the block to the blockchain. The process of generating this hash is also what generates some cryptocurrency, which is the block reward. Because of this, we say that a miner has mined the cryptocurrency. However, in a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism, miners don't need to compete using computing power. Instead, they lock up some crypto in a process called staking. The miner with the highest stake has the best chance of being chosen as a validator to add the block to the blockchain. In this system, the block reward is gotten from transaction fees. So miners will usually pick transactions with the highest transaction fees before others. The proof-of-work and proof-of-stake mechanisms are the most used consensus mechanisms. Other mechanisms implement a similar reward system as they do. Once a miner gets his block into the blockchain, all the transactions in that block will be confirmed. On average, a new block of transaction will be mined or added to the blockchain every 10 minutes. When a block is mined with your transaction in it, you will notice the transaction shows on the Block Explorer as having one confirmation. As more blocks are added afterwards, the confirmation number will grow. Think of it as a building of blocks with the first set of blocks at the very bottom. Every additional block set on top of your own initial block makes it more authentic and harder to remove. That is why it is usually suggested to wait for at least 6 blocks before considering a transaction as fully confirmed without any chance of cancellation. Send a confirmation message to the sender's address after 6 or 12 transactions. And that's it. A transaction is now fully confirmed and received. Hopefully you have a deeper understanding of how cryptocurrency is sent. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. See you in another lesson.